Record on this. All right, I'll let people in.
What is up? What is up? How many of you guys were on my call this morning in Momentum? I see a couple of familiar faces. If you weren't on my call this morning in Momentum, then you probably don't know that I'm super fucking sick, but I'm still here. Super sick, yes. Yeah, no, mate, like I show up for you guys. Plus it's fun. I was telling Eve, I sound worse than I feel.
Which is good.
Yeah.
You sound sick.
I went to Mexico and I don't know, Mexico got me sick. I don't know. I don't know. It was funny. Everyone on the cruise was like complaining that, not complaining, but like everyone on the cruise says that there's like a cruise ship cough or something that everyone gets. And I was like, nah, I'm drinking too much alcohol to get that. And no, alcohol apparently doesn't keep you from getting the cruise ship cough. I know I sound worse because I was on with you guys for like 2 hours and my voice is almost gone now. But we'll still make it fun.
Yeah, a lot of people are still jumping on, getting everybody in. Good. All right.
I'm gonna let Eve start the call. I think she's waiting on me.
Oh no, I'm just letting people in, but yeah, I'll definitely start
Oh,
the call. So,
this is Eve's call. I'm just hijacking it.
no, she's hijacking it to show you guys some really cool stuff. So, I'm Eve. I think I've met a lot of you guys doing the AI accelerator. And uh, if you don't know me, I worked with Laurel many, many, many years ago in television, and she and I have kind of been jamming for the last year and a half, doing some really cool stuff with AI. And one of the first things that I ever showed her that I did was came up with some prompts. My background is in television, but I've done a lot of marketing and actually owned a company, God, like 20 some years ago doing brand strategy. So when AI kind of first hit this second wave, the consumer AI, ChatGPT, I came up with some prompts to help figure out how to talk to my audience. I literally I did not make this stuff up. It's in a ton of books, but those are all like when Laurel goes over your ICA, how to come up with your ICA, get your pain points, etc. And it really just tied really nicely into her whole ecosystem because kind of the principles behind the strategies is if we know who we're talking to and we're talking to them in the way that they feel heard and seen, they're going to engage and react to what you do so much better. And Laurel kind of figured that out with probably not even thinking ICA. That's just something that in the television world, we always had an ICA to represent who our audience was. And when
Beth.
producers would pitch
Her name was
something,
Beth. Her name was Beth, right?
Beth, yes,
When
that
we
was
were, yeah, when we were talking about like what segments to put on the TV show, Eve would always be like, "What does Beth want to watch tonight?"
because if, like Beth in that particular television show, was a woman who wanted to work out, but she didn't, she liked to sit on the couch. She had kids, so her time was very important to her, right? And so that show was all about trends, and we always wanted to educate, which tied so nicely into whatever you're doing because it really is about how do we provide value to our audience. And so Laurel is going to kind of show you using the foundation of the prompts. And just so you guys know, like, I use these four prompts to start everything I do in AI. If I'm creating a custom GPT, if I'm creating an agent, whatever I'm doing with I start with this. I work with a lot of clients that I create custom GPTs for them so that they can produce whatever, whether it's email, whether it's Instagram, LinkedIn. And it literally starts, the two things that I always do is I get their voice and tone, so it's from them, but always we put in what their audience, who their ICA is. And then Laurel started showing me what she's been doing with her higher level Lean on Laurel students. And so we thought this would be a really cool AI accelerator to show you guys how she's been jamming and using AI, really her framework, but using AI to amplify it.
Yep. So we're going to do some not so fun stuff to begin with, because if you don't know this stuff, none of the chat GPT stuff is even going to work. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to start off. And as a matter of fact, I actually brought Eve and her business partner through this same exercise because honestly, if you don't know this stuff about your clients, and a lot of people will be like, well, can you get this information from chat GPT? Yes, but it's going to be shit. Like that, there is no shortcut. Like if you're not talking to your ideal prospects and getting the words right out of their mouth, none of this stuff will work, or as good, won't work as well as if you are actually using stuff that actually comes from their mouth. Okay. So the first thing that you have to understand are two things. We've got two types of clients. We've got our ceiling clients, and I'll explain what this means right here in a minute. And we've got our floor clients. Okay. Our ceiling clients, these are going to be the easiest people that we can get results for. So if someone is coming into Lean on Laurel and they have a VSL funnel and they're already getting 2 to 3 times their return on ad spend, I can fucking make them a shit ton of money. Not like by barely doing anything. These are the easiest clients to get results for. My floor clients, however, if they come to me and they simply just have a validated offer, but they don't have a funnel, it's going to take me a lot longer to get those people results. But does that mean that they are low quality people? Abso-freaking not, right? And so we always want to identify who are our floor clients and who are our ceiling clients. This is super important. Why? Because we don't want to spend time marketing to people who will never buy from us, or who are people who will never ever be our clients, right? So let's take a look at my Lean on Laurel program, for example, right? If the floor clients are people who have a validated offer and my ceiling clients are people who have a VSL, do you think I want to spend time marketing to people who've never launched an ad before? Do you think I want to spend time with people who have an unvalidated offer? No, that's what my $7 program's for, right? So I want to make sure that in my marketing, it is not attracting these people. And so if you're coming to me and you're telling me, hey, I'm putting out all this amazing content, but the people I keep talking to in Messenger, they're not qualified, is because you didn't do this part right here. Okay. So the sweet spot that I'm going to show you guys how to make content is going to be here. Right. And here's why. Okay. We're going to show you today how to make an infinite amount of freaking content. I'm going to show you guys how to do it manually first. Then I'm going to show you guys how to plug this in to ChatGPT using a couple of different prompts, and bada bing, bada boom, it's just going to all be like just populated for you. As a matter of fact, there's 1,280 pieces of content by the time we're done with this. Who can't run their business on 1,280 pieces of content? I mean, I could run my business on 15 pieces of content, but 1,280 is freaking insane. But I'll show you where those 1,280 pieces come from, because it's not as difficult as you guys are going to think, okay? So if we look at this circle right here, right? Would you say, if I'm targeting Russell Brunson, would you say that in Russell Brunson's audience, I'm going to attract My floor clients and my ceiling clients, yes or no? Let me know in the chat. If I target Russell Brunson, do you think I'm going to get pretty much my floor and my ceiling clients and probably even some below? What do you think? Yes, right? So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to create content that is going to be able to exploit this entire audience, right? Because what a lot of you guys are doing is you're putting out one ad and you're wondering why it's only being shown to like 100,000 people. Well, it's because even though Russell Brunson's audience might have 2 million people in it, one ad is only going to resonate with one small pocket of with his audience. So if you're spending money on ads and the same people are seeing your ad over and over again, you're pretty much wasting money, right? It's like that sleazy vacuum cleaner salesman who comes knock on your door and you slam the door in his face and he climbs the tree and goes to your bedroom window and starts knocking on your bedroom window, buy my like no, right? That's what a lot of people are doing. And so what we're going to show you how to do is create content that's going to exploit every part of Russell Brunson's audience while leaving out the people that you don't want to attract. Does that make sense? Everyone, does everyone follow me? We have a small group here, so if you guys like have any questions, please don't hesitate. We'll take this slow. Okay, cool. Now, okay. Now that we've got that out of the way, right? Would you say that the ceiling clients are going to have different problems than the floor clients? Yeah, right? So here's one of my favorite exercises. You guys have probably heard me talk about 15 pieces of content in 5 minutes, right? That's how we're going to get 15 pieces of content in 5 minutes, right? So the main problem that I solve for my clients is getting people to 2 to 3x return on ad spend plus, right? People who are stuck or not there yet, that's a situation, right? There's going to be 3 big problems that are going to lead to this happening. Okay? So right now, what I want you to think about is what is the main situation that your ideal clients are in that they want to get out of. Okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to break it down into your 3 big problems that are keeping people there. So for me, if someone comes to me and they're not getting 2 to 3 times their return on ad spend, or they're stuck at 2 to 3 times their return on ad spend, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that they have an optimized funnel, right? So even if I look at my floor clients, right, they have a validated offer, they don't have a funnel yet, right? So the first problem that I'm going to help them solve is I'm going to get them an optimized funnel. The second problem, once they have an optimized funnel, they need an ads ecosystem that's going to plug the holes of that funnel. And then the third is they're going to need something to fix churn, right? Churn so that they can get more referrals, which is Mr. Bill's specialty. So if you guys are having trouble getting referrals, y'all go to Mr. Bill up there, who's here, right? So now we've got 3 big problems. But here's the thing. We want to break this down even more, right? Because what Eve was talking about at the beginning of this call, we want our ideal clients to really believe that we know more about their problems than they even know themselves. And the way to do that is to go small, right? And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to break down these into different steps to solving this problem. Okay? So for me, if someone comes to me and their funnel is not optimized, the first thing I'm looking at is your sales conversion rate 20% or more on your phone calls, right? If it is, the next thing I'm going to look at is how many applications are you getting? Or rather, your show up rate, right? Your show up rate. Then, how many applications are you getting? How many views on your VSL are you getting? Then, landing page, right? These are all of the steps to having an optimized funnel. A lot of you guys are staying in your content with the big problem. We want to go even narrow. Okay. And then you're going to do this for each of your phases. Okay. Now we're not going to stop there. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take each of these steps, right? So this step is getting 20% plus on your sales conversion. Okay. Now, what is the problem that solves? Well, people getting less than 20%, right? What is the solution that I have? Is a sales framework called CASE. What is the physical mechanism? Well, it's a sales script. And what is a resource that I can use in order to accelerate the sales script process? I can use a ChatGPT prompt to create that. Okay? Now, you want to do this for each of those steps, right? What are you guys starting to notice about what I'm doing right now? What are you guys starting to notice? And you can say random stuff, like just what do you notice about what I'm doing right now? Don't everyone answer at one time. I know, Mr. Bill, I know you know. Yep, I'm breaking down stuff into steps, building out your contact, creating the structure to make powerful content. Yes. What do you guys notice? I not only have my content, but I also already have a value bomb, don't I? So if we do this for each of those steps, right? If I've got 3 big problems and 5 steps underneath each, I've got 15 pieces of content, right? So Laurel, how the hell do you get 1,280? I'm glad you guys asked. So from this right here, there are 2 ways that we could break this down even further, right? If I teach this sales framework in a piece of power content, or I teach it in a workshop, or I teach it in person, what are people going to have? Objections to getting that done, right? There's 4 different types of objections. There's time, money, effort, and sacrifice, right? How much time do I have to spend doing this? How much is this going to cost me? I don't know if I can do this. I hate sales calls. What do I have to give up? Man, I already don't have enough time to spend with my family. Like, am I going to have to give up even more time? Right? This is all in the stealth influence part, right? If you go to phase 1, my mentor, Nick Peterson, teaches stealth influence. He teaches these 4 time objections, right? Now, in addition to this, right? So now we've got 1 piece of content. If we do through the lens of each objection, now we've got 4 to 1. So now instead of 15 pieces of content, we've got 60 pieces of content like that. Now, humans consume information in 4 different ways. Some are more attracted to the actionable type of content, like the how-to videos. How many of you guys binge watch how-to videos online, right? That's the actionable. They've got some like me who are attracted to the analytical types of content. There are some people who love stories, the aspirational. And then there are some people who like more psychological, which is the more anthropological. Blah, I don't remember how to spell that. Anthropological, right? So now we've gotten 60 pieces of content times 4. once more. So you can see how this can really like multiply pretty easy, right? Now, the next part is the fun and sexy part, right? Now, Eve and I are going to go through the prompts that I use in order to get ChatGPT to actually give me all of this stuff. But, guys, you need to know each of these things for each of those 15 pieces of content. Otherwise, you're going to get a whole bunch of generic crap out of ChatGPT. How many of you guys have tried doing content with ChatGPT and just garbage comes out? Right? It's because ChatGPT is only as good as the information we give it. I don't sit there and use ChatGPT for ideation. I use it for acceleration, right? And so I'll show you guys how I actually start off with ChatGPT. But if you don't know this stuff, and so when I have a new Lean on Laurel client, right, and they come into my program now, I do a one-on-one onboarding call. And on this onboarding call, I'm getting this information out of them. I tried doing it through an intake form, and I found that so many people, they don't know how to actually answer this stuff on an onboarding form, and so it requires a conversation. But what I'm also pulling out of those conversations with my clients who I'm interviewing on a Zoom call are the stories behind each of these steps. So like if I have the step about the 20% closing on the sales call, I'll ask my client, well, tell me about your favorite client that you helped get this done, right? And so I'm pulling all of that stuff. Why? Because I want I want to be able to feed ChatGPT some aspirational elements, right? JD, actually, he just commented, he's in my Lean on Laurel program. I was giving him scripts and he's like, how the hell are you doing this? But it's because like I use Voxer and Lean on Laurel. And so I'll ask my students questions and I'm taking their transcripts of their audio and I'm giving it to ChatGPT and I'm having it output all of my scripts. But only after I do the steps that we're about to walk through. Eve, do you want to like take it away as far as like explaining the first 4 ICA prompts that we're going to be using? Because I think it's super important that people understand why we have to not only do this exercise first, but why we actually have to build that avatar and then tell ChatGPT, well, what are the problems? What are the mechanisms? How is this all going to start to fit together?
Yes. Okay, cool. Let me just call up my little document. And then if somebody wants to be a guinea pig, we'll literally just do these prompts for them. But you'll have to either put this stuff in the chat or just yell it out to me. Because I think I actually have on mine. Let me just make a copy and then I'll share my screen with you. And we'll do this for you so you'll have it. All right.
Is there anyone here who already has done this exercise? And does anyone here already? I know my Lean on Laurel students, you guys have it. Does anyone else in the $7 program have it already done this exercise? Okay, no, cool. Hopefully today after this call, you guys are going to go and do it and actually do what we're going to implement today. It'll really speed up your process.
Yeah, and I'll put these 4 prompts in a document and share with you guys, or we'll put it in Laurel's group where we put this replay so you guys have it. Um, you are on mute, Laurel.
I'm actually going to give them the one that we're going to use today, but I wanted you to go over the basic prompts because what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them the ones that go with the exercise that I just did. But I would just kind of want you to show them what the first 4 prompts look like before I show them what it looks like on my side.
Okay, do you want me to take someone through it or just do it really quick in ChatGPT and make it up or just actually go through the prompts?
I would just like kind of go through the prompts and then because like I can go through mine so that they can see so that
In
this
action.
yeah, so they'll
Yep.
actually see the exercise side by side with the prompts.
Perfect. Okay, so the first prompt is, and I know a lot of you guys have been in AI Accelerator, but I'm gonna talk to the lowest common denominator as if you have never used ChatGPT. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is you give ChatGPT or any learn language model a role. So as a marketing specialist, that's its role. Your task is to create an ideal customer profile and now this is where you will type in what your business is. This business specializes in working with, so then this is where you put your target audience. And so the example I think that I have in here is Facebook advertising consultant, because I did this with Laurel, such as coaches, coach educators, creators, and service providers. The service offering includes, and this is where you're going to put in as much information as you possibly can about what you provide. You can't give learn language models, ChatGPT, I'll just say ChatGPT, too much information. So the more information you give, the better. So this is where I would go, and like Laurel and I do this all the time. If you have ChatGPT on your phone, you can literally just talk to it and just riff and just like, vomit of the mouth. You don't have to be any kind of way, just everything. Um, these resources focuses on, so now we're talking about what you provide. So the resources focus on, and this is where you give the key benefits, such as the strategies, whatever you do for that. And again, to fast track content creation and budget friendly online advertising services. Advertising strategies start at, and this is where if it's not a cost and this doesn't apply, you don't have to do it, right? But again, the more details, the better. Your profile should be detailed using a combination of demographics, psychographics, and behavioral data to identify the target market, their interests, and their yearly income. And really quick, I'm just going to stop just to go over one thing so you guys can understand this. Most people, and this is definitely in the television world, but it applies to everything, they understand their demographic. That's like the layer that they go deep. Like most of you can easily identify who your audience is, right? It's the psychographics and the behavioral graphics that people don't go. They don't understand that. And this is where AI can really help. But because I want you guys to understand why this is important, I will walk you through just an example that I've used multiple times that people really can relate to. If you understand your demographic and you say your demographic is a woman and she's in her 40s and she is a philanthropist, maybe owns a fashion or is known for her fashion, right? We're describing a woman and you can get very specific about it. Well, what I just described could literally be Kate Middleton and it could also be Kim Kardashian. Two very, very different people. Another example, this is the one that I use in my presentation. A guy in his 70s, divorced twice, married or divorced once, married twice, lives in a castle, and is famous. King Charles, obviously, right? Well, also describes Ozzy Osbourne. Two very different avatars. And so that's why it's important to go through. And because of AI, you don't have to know how to get into the behavioral and psychographics of your audience. But once you get it, it's going to make your content not be in an ocean of everybody else's content because everyone's talking to their demographic. It's the people that can actually get into the person's house, sit down with them, and have coffee with them because you are speaking to them directly that you're going to see your content making more of an impact and actually getting results. Okay, so then we ask it to do its age, gender, occupation, location, average income, its core fears or concerns, what keeps them out up at night, self-perception fear, what are they scared this problem says about them, Avoidance behavior. What do they avoid because it triggers too much fear and anxiety? Worst case scenario. What is the worst case scenario if they stay stuck in this indecision? Powerlessness. Where will they feel powerless if they don't succeed in reaching a state of clarity? Impact of your services. What difference would working with, insert your business or service, make in reaching their goal? Reducing fear. What would make it easier for them not to feel fear or anxiety about working with you? Okay, so that's the first prompt we put in. Then the next prompt we put in, and Laurel's going to take us all through this. That's the big one. Then the next three or the next four, I don't know how far she's going to go, but prompt two, please create a customer avatar based on the ICA or persona or description of the perfect client for the business above. What they like, how they behave, loyalty to your brand, and how they conduct business with you. This is called prompt engineering. It's literally layering. This is very like AI 101, just using prompts. We're not getting into custom GPTs. We're not getting into any kind of agent. That's what I'm building out with Laurel. This is literally just basic prompt engineering. Then the third prompt, please provide some of, insert your target audience, pain points regarding, insert using hiring you or your product. Include the exact words or phrases that they are likely to use to describe these concerns. That is important. There's a whole thing on psychology of parroting back when people say stuff that it instantly evokes trust. So if you can use the exact words and phrases that they use, your stealth influence going to begin to start building that trust even before you get into their house and sit down and have coffee. And the fourth prompt, please give me the exact things they say about their goals and dreams around having a successful business, providing for their family, having more time with their family, and having better health. And those you can, if it's different, if they don't have a family, it could be whatever that situation is. If you're into helping people with fertility, it could be having a family, starting a family, right? So you can kind of get more specific with that. And that I will stop because I think the next one goes into what you're going to show.
Yeah, so basically, and I've already done all of this stuff for you guys. I'm going to give you this Google document because you showed up live. People who don't, and I'm going to say this one more time, people who don't show up live don't get this document. Like, I like to reward people who like to, come to the calls and everything like that, because this is a document that I only share with my Lean on Laurel students. And so, you guys get a little bonus here for coming here. So this is the first prompt. And so what I've done, all you have to do in all of this is change the stuff that's highlighted. And then I'm giving you all of the hard work that I've already put into this. So check this out, and we'll show you guys in real time, okay? So this is the first prompt. Now notice I said, as a marketing specialist, your task is to create an ideal customer profile for a Facebook advertising consultant who works with coaches, course creators, and service providers. The business specializes in offering an online subscription to videos, workshops, and materials that offer strategies to fast track, blah, 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 with start at just $5 a day. See how like specific I am? Like I'm being super specific. And like I said, all you have to do is change the stuff that's highlighted. We're just going to start this, right? So I'm just going to, you guys will see how this works in real time. And we'll see if chat will, yeah, I'll give it to you guys, because if I give you the document now, you guys are going to be playing in it and not paying attention. So this is pretty good. I'm imagining that most of you guys who are on this call right now are here. Most of the people in my $7 program are here, and Lean on Laurel people are usually here. This is really good. Wouldn't you guys agree? Like, I mean,
I think it is.
yeah, what keeps them up at night, struggling to get consistent leads, feeling overwhelmed, wasting money on ads that don't convert, worrying that they'll never hit their income goals and have to return to a 9 to 5.
And if it wasn't good, because sometimes like it doesn't always produce the best results, and especially if you know, just correct it. Just like having
Hmm.
a conversation, just correct it.
Yep. So that's the first one. And then I'm just going to copy this next one. Savvy scaling Sarah. Now, one of the things that I actually do as it's doing this is I also have it give it a male version. That way, when I'm talking to it, I'm like, can you write this for Sarah? Can you write this for Mike? And I always like say, that's great. Can you also make me one for a male avatar? I don't like how all of a sudden chat is doing these emojis. I fucking hate emojis. The other day I told it in a conversation, I was like, can you stop fucking using emojis? It's annoying. That must be a new feature that they just did. Scaling Steve. I mean, it's really good. So, prompt number 3, please provide me with some of their pain points regarding subscribing to my online videos or hiring me to coach them. Please give me the exact words they use. Okay. Hopefully, this is going to give some stuff that you guys are like, holy shit, this is me.
Yeah, there's already some people in the chat saying, I can't believe how well this describes me. Heartless.
I wasted so much money on ads that didn't work. I don't have time to watch a million videos. I'm not tech savvy, and ads manager looks like a nightmare. I don't know what to say in my ads. I'm not sure if $5 a day strategy will work. Let's see. Astriana says, number one, I wasted so money on ads that didn't work. That's what you said. That's awesome. I mean, it gets really fun. So, prompt number 4 is please give me the exact things they say about their goals and dreams, blah, 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 blah.
And then you don't need, just to answer a question in the chat, you don't need a custom GPT for this. So,
No, I don't even use the custom. Like I do this. I know there's an easier way to do this, but I do this like anytime someone comes into Lean on Laurel, you could actually see here all of my Lean on Laurel students. Like, look, JD was like, this is JD's thread right here. I have a chat for all of my Lean on Laurel students that I do this. Um, so now they've given me exact words to say. I don't want to go to my 9 to 5. I want to show myself and maybe even some doubters that I can build something successful on my own terms. I have heard this over and over again from my clients. Okay, so now it becomes fun. So this is where having that exercise that I just showed you comes in handy. Because now I built prompt number 5 based upon that problem solution exercise, right? So now I'm giving it my 3 main goals that my clients are looking to achieve, right? What I drew out on the pin, optimize book a call funnel, ads ecosystem, retention and referral system in place. And I'm asking it, do you understand? Just so that it can tell me, yes, I understand, or no, I don't. Awesome. Now I'm like, great, here they are. Let's start with achieving goal. Goal number 1 is optimizing their book a call funnel. The mechanism that we use in order to do that is a VSL funnel. The problem a VSL funnel solves is that the client knows they've hit goal number 1 when this happens. Now I will outline the steps needed in order to achieve goal number 1. Step 1, the case sales framework. This works because you see how very descriptive I am. This is key right here. Otherwise, again, chat's going to give you some really like generic shit. We want chat to have what's up here in our own brain. Does everyone understand that? We want chat to learn what's in our brain. We do not want to rely on chat to give us this information. Everyone hear me when I say that. Okay. I'm not going to do it for, but now I'm going to do goal number 2. I'm not going to do this. Just insert yours here. I just did it for, for this right here, but here we go. So I'm going to stop here just so that you guys, otherwise this will take forever. But check this out. So now I'm like, great, here they are. And it's going to start giving me content. Look how very clear this is. If your sales call feels like a waste of time and you're closing less than 20% of leads, you're leaving money on the table. I'll show you my case sales call framework that turns cold leads into ready to buy clients without awkward pitching or chasing people down. Getting ghosted on sales calls, here's why they're not showing up. If less than 40% of your visitors are hitting play on your video, it doesn't matter how good your offer is, they're not even seeing it. I'll walk you through how to craft an irresistible headline for your VSL that makes people stop, click, and actually watch so you can start booking calls.
That's good.
So, and I actually tell it, these hooks and promises of value were great. Good job. Now is where the fun part happens. Are you guys ready to accelerate and multiply all this shit? Now I'm going to tell it these hooks and promises of value are great. Good job. I know that based on your customer profile that you created, my ideal clients are going to have objections that are either time, money, effort, or sacrifice based. Can you write me a few one-liners for each of these videos, include the hooks and promises of value that you wrote for me, so that I can meet those objections early on in the video? Example. And I gave it an example, so you can use this example. Your chat will learn this. Okay? So I gave it an example of time objection stuff. So check this out, guys. Like, this is freaking gold. Look at this. It's giving me each of those 4 for each hook and promise of value.
And we are literally 42 minutes into this call. That is
But
acceleration amplified. Huge.
but do you guys understand why I went through that boring exercise first? Because if I did it, this would not make sense. Right? We're going to go even further. I know that all of these objections have come from some sort of false belief. Using the profile that you built for my clients, Sarah and Mike, please tell me an experience that may have given them that false belief and the story they now tell themselves because of that false belief. For example, Sarah thinks ads have to cost a fortune. The experience that gave her that false belief is that she spent $5,000 on a webinar ad and didn't get a sale. So now she tells herself that she has to spend upwards, blah, 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 blah. And Estriana, probably this pairs well with what we did this morning. So now it's giving us stories to eliminate false beliefs, which would make great middle of funnel power content. The only difference between my top of funnel power content and the middle of funnel power content is my top of funnel power content. I want it to be 3 to 5 minutes, and I'm sticking to the actionable. Here's how to do XYZ. Here's how to solve this problem. I'm using the objection and the anthropological, analytical, and aspirational stuff for middle of funnel. Because remember, middle of funnel power content could be as long as you want it to be. If I raise my prices, nobody will buy. Where this belief came from, Steve tried raising his prices once and immediately got pushback from new leads who said it was too expensive. Instead of finding the right audience, he lowered his prices again out of fear. How many of you guys have done that? The story he now tells himself. People are only willing to pay low ticket prices for coaching. If I charge more, I'll lose all my clients. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, right? Now we're going to build on top of that. I said, now what I want you to do is take each of the videos you wrote for me, include the hook, the promise of value, an objection, a false belief, and the story they now tell themselves because of it. Here's an example of how I want you to do that. So now I'm telling it to put everything that we've done so far together so that now we're starting to have a video framework that you can literally go do the video. So now it's basically writing our video framework. Fucking hate these emojis, man. It's killing me.
Just prompt it to stop using emojis.
This is where the mic drop happens. Are you guys ready for the mic drop? So now it's giving us an insane amount of content, right? Like freaking insane. Now I'm like, these are all fantastic. I'm going to give you a challenge to write the same videos using 4 different styles. People love to engage with videos that are analytical, aspirational, actionable, or anthropological. I want to reach each of these audiences with my content. So can you take each of the video hooks, promises of value, and write 4 different versions that hit all of these? And I gave it examples. Again, you guys can just copy and paste from my document. I did all the work for you guys. So now we're taking one video, and now we got 4 different hooks and promises of value for all of this that are hitting the analytical, aspirational. It is crazy, right? We're not even done yet. You guys haven't even seen the finale. So now I'm going to tell it, great job. That's exactly what I was looking for. Now I want you to create even more hooks for these same videos, but I'm going to give you 10 of my favorite hooks, and I want you to split out 10 new versions of the videos you just gave me. Do you understand what I'm asking you, or do you need clarification? I'm making sure before I give it the big prompt, right? I want to make sure it's up to speed. Here are the 10 hooks. And here's an example of how I want you to break this down. This is the big finale, but then I'm going to show you something else that's really cool. Look at this. So this is one topic, the original hook, and it's giving me 10 different hooks. So I can do one video 10 different ways. Now, I'll give you guys a little inside baseball. This is what I do when Lean on Laurel students come in before they have their one-on-one call. Okay? So when they come into Lean on Laurel, I give them all of their ecosystem stuff. I'm like, go shoot all of these videos, right? Here's the thing. What do you think is going to happen after I actually have the one-on-one call and I'm interviewing them, getting even more specific with all of this stuff and asking them for specific stories? I'm just saying, and then what I do is I upload. So check this out. JD, are you still on the call? I just want to ask JD permission before I show you guys this. He might be like, oh, I got access to Laurel. I don't know. Do you see JD still on the call, Eve, or did he bounce?
Yeah, I'm looking right now. I'm trying to search. I don't see him. No, it doesn't look like he's here.
Okay. Let me share someone's who I know. Okay. I know Jared won't mind. So one of the things that I did was I uploaded a transcript where Jared and I were actually, so Jared does SATs for clients, and like he helps their kids get better SAT scores. And he was getting a whole bunch of parents who weren't really like qualified to have his offer. And so on one of the coaching calls, we had the discussion. I was like, "Can you tell me more about who your ideal clients are?" And I was like, "I don't think that your ideal clients are parents who are wanting their kids to ace their SATs to get a scholarship." I was like, "Because that means they probably don't have money. I think your ideal clients are Ivy League graduates who want their kids to go to the same Ivy League school as they did, whether they're a legacy in fraternity, they're a legacy football player, or anything like that." And so what I did was I actually fed ChatGPT our transcript, and check this out. Like, it rewrote his power offer. Your teen is driven, empowered, and determined to get into one of the best schools in the country. They've done everything right. They're the star athlete, the honor student. They've taken on every extracurricular activity to get their college application shine. But now there's little to no time left to focus on the most important advantage of them all, their SAT score. My name is Jared, and blah, 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 blah. Here's a true traditional. And it just goes in. This is all stuff that Jared told me. So, like, being able to, and one of the things that I tell my Lean on Laurel students is, once you do this process, give it some of your video transcripts of you going through your process from some of your YouTube videos. Like, if you go to YouTube, it'll give you the transcript of every YouTube video that you've done. And I just give it like a transcript of what. So I'll actually show you guys. So if I go to my YouTube,
new Facebook thing. So if you want to remove yourself from the Facebook page.
So if I go to my channel, so this right here is my VSL for my Lean on Laurel program. It goes through my entire ecosystem. If I click more right here, it'll give me this option to show transcript. And all I do is I'm like this. And I copy. And so what I would do, so if I were doing this for a client, I would say, "Hey, here's a conversation I had with my client that will give you even more information." But I'm going to say, "Here's a video transcript of me going over my unique mechanisms, yep, and offers so that you have even more clarity on my tone and my style." And so now it's learning my tone and my style and everything. Now I even take this a bit further. This is so now that's the hard part, right? You only have to do this one time, right? You only have to do this one time. What I like to do is I like to use the app in your phone, and I'll bring it up. And so I'll go to this chat that I've done right here. You'll be able to see it here in a minute. And I'll say, "Hey there. So I want to do a video talking about sacrifice objections that people have to coming on sales calls." Because I just had a call with some of my students who they feel like a 60-second phone call. I mean, a 60-second, see, I even messed up. A 60-minute sales call is needed in order to close a client. But if they're using my ecosystem, they don't need to do that. So can you help me come up with a great hook and promise of value for this video?
Hook. Think you need to spend 60 minutes on a sales call just to close a client? Think again. Promise of value. In this video, I'll show you how my ad ecosystem pre-sells your leads so you can close deals in 15 minutes or less without wasting time on hour-long calls that drain your energy and kill your close rate. This hits the sacrifice objection head on by challenging the false belief that long calls equals better conversions. It also taps into their desire for efficiency while reinforcing the power of your ecosystem. Want me to add variations or go deeper into the false belief breakdown in the video?
That is exactly what I was about to say. I think you read my mind. So can we actually tell a story about a false belief and the story that a client now tells itself? Now, can you give me the hook, promise of value, and everything? Pretty much just give me the intro of what this video should sound like.
Hook. If you think you need to spend an hour on a sales call just to close a client, let me save you a whole lot of time and a whole lot of frustration. Promise of value. In this video, I'll break down why long sales calls are killing your close rate and how my ad ecosystem pre-sells your leads so you can close deals in 15 minutes or less without wasting time or energy on people who aren't ready to buy. False belief. Longer sales calls equals higher close rates. Story they tell themselves. If I don't spend at least an hour on the call, the prospect won't trust me enough to buy. I have to take time to warm them up and answer all their objections, or they'll say no. Reality check. I used to have a client named Insert Name who believed this too. She was spending an hour, sometimes more, on every single call, answering the same objections over and over again, only to have half the lead.
Yeah. But watch this. If I refresh this, you guys will see. I didn't want to have to go bother you guys with the whole thing, but like check this out. So if I refresh, it should show up on this right here. See, it's written, my power content. I'll be like, so check this out. Hey, we forgot to add a free resource. What would be a really great free resource that we can add into this video?
A killer free resource for this video would be the 15-minute sales call script. Why? Because it gives them an immediate, actionable solution to their biggest hesitation. How do I close faster without losing sales? What's inside? The exact pre-call process that warms up leads before they even get on the call. A plug-and-play script they can use to close in 15 minutes or less without feeling salesy. The 3 biggest mistakes that make sales calls drag on too long.
That's pretty fucking cool, isn't it? And that's how after I have all of that hard work in, I'm talking to my clients on Voxer, and Voxer lets me do transcripts. So when I need to come up with new content, and JD's not here to vouch for me, but I'll be, hey JD, I've got 3 questions for you. Can you send me an audio? You know, I see this framework. Can you give me an example of how you use this with a client? And I'll say, hey, here's how JD says he uses it with a client. Can you write me a power post or something? I'll just give it like stuff, because remember, it doesn't have to be videos. This could be written posts too. This is the process though, like that I literally have. Like, this is a setup that I did. I'll actually show you guys. This is an ad setup. I was like, I have a new client. His name is T King. Here's all the information he gave me on the intake form. I said, here's a video transcript of a video I did with him. Bada bing, bada boom. And then I told it, I said, do you have enough information to create an ICA? All of the stuff that Eve talks about. And then boom, all of his power content videos within same day of having the call. I handed him all of his Hot 7 videos. I handed him everything that he needs. The reminder video, the belief builder power content script. His reminder video, hey, it's T King. You've been following my content for a while, but you never taken me up on booking a free strategy call with me. I get it. You're skeptical. Sound familiar, right? It's a reminder video script. Then I was like, can you find a gold nugget in the video transcript with T King that talks about a client's story? Here's the golden nugget. I was like, let's write a video ad that tells that story and then gives people a reason to book a call. I was like, let's tell this story from T King's point of view, because it told it from a third. He's like, T King has helped over 300. I was like, no, let's tell it as if T King is telling the story. Check this out. Look, opening hook. I see it all the time. Business owners come to me frustrated after spending thousands of dollars on shortcuts that don't work, thinking they found a quick way to get funding. And one of the biggest mistakes, buying shelf corporations. I had a client who came to me after spending $7,500 on a shelf corporation. They thought they were getting a business that was ready for funding, blah, 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 blah. Like, guys, it's like the ultimate, like this right here, what we just did is like the ultimate cheat code. Here, I'm going to give you guys, I'll give you guys this document right now because I know some of you guys are. There you go.
Do you want me, Laurel, to show them the GPT just if they haven't seen that to get to that beginning part, or is that going to overwhelm them just with what you showed with the main problem and the three problems?
I think they can just
Do it.
Use what we've given them.
Okay.
And to answer your question, Carlos, in that conversation, I give them here, I'll actually just show you what I do. So what I do, and there's probably an easier way, and Eve will be like, Laurel, why the hell are you doing this every time? I just go and I grab the script. So let's just say, actually, I'll use let's use the problem solver, right? I even do this dirty, guys. Like, I just do this. Watch, check this out. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And I'll go back to the conversation that we just had. And I'll be like, hey, I need help with a power content script. I am going to give you the template. Can you write this using one of the problems that I solve for my clients? And I just like it knows. Check it out. Pretty cool, huh? Watch this. Let's see if it'll do it. I don't know.
What did she say to make sure that my notes are complete?
The notes complete.
So check this out. So it just wrote me this. I'll be like, can you do that exact same thing for all 5 of the steps I gave you? I might not have prompted it with enough information, but I think I did. It's super smart. I think it knew what I meant. We'll see. Yeah, look at it. It's going down all of my 5 steps of the exercise that I gave it. Using that one template I gave it. So now I've got 15 pieces of content for the problem solver script. Cool. Isn't that super cool? Are you glad you guys showed up today? Is this not worth the price of the $7 program right here?
Just to answer a couple of the questions, someone asked me if I've done this in Claude, the same prompts. Yes, I have. I like it a lot. I think Claude can sometimes sound more human than ChatGPT, but if I've been using ChatGPT and training it in a specific thread, it does just as good a job. Because I'm very into AI, I play with everything. I've been playing with DeepSeek. Everyone's freaking out about that. I just like to know everything. I'm kind of into that. So I think Claude is just as good. I think it has limitations. I'm not going to go into it, but yes, I have. And also, before I call on Mike, just going back to address something that Laurel said about there's a way to do it quicker. There is, and automation is becoming like so like mainstream now, or it's going to be, right? But in something like this, like you can only automate something or a task, and it's only going to benefit you if you don't have to go and engage with it. Right. So OpenAI now has where you can go in, and it's had it for a while, where if you're into automations using Make or a different program, and where it helps is if you actually get content and you want to automate it to, like, let's say, here's a blog that I wrote and I want it to now be a LinkedIn post, an Instagram post, whatever. And you can take it all the way down that assembly line to where it's actually posting on your stuff. But in something like this, where you actually need that human, which is Laurel, to go in and be looking at the content that is then produced and giving it feedback and asking for more, it wouldn't make sense to automate this, right? Because each of her thread is a different client. So if it was the same action, I always try to explain to my clients, if there's an action that you take and it's the same action and the same exact step and the same exact prompt every single time, that's when I would create a custom GPT or do an automation with it, right? So at some point, Laurel can show you guys, if you guys don't already know about the GPT that we created to come up with value bombs, that each individual person can go in and do. So I could have given a set of prompts to each of you and you go and fill it out and it would do the same thing. Or I just created a custom GPT where you hit start, it asks you some questions and it does the same thing. So I don't think you would really automate this at this point. There might be a point where Laurel figures it out and we can actually train a custom GPT because we're analyzing a lot of her threads with each LOL client to see, is she asking the same thing over and over and over again? And if she is, and giving the same amount of feedback with that data, we can train and automate it. But at this point, and more, I'm just doing it because I want to see. At this point, I don't think taking Laurel out of the equation and making it automated makes any sense.
No, because it's getting all of its information from me. And that's what I want everyone to understand. Second thing that I want you to understand is, yes, there are so many people who are going to watch this training and be like, the way that Laurel's doing it is so amateur. But guess what? Minimum effective dose. This is doing exactly what I need it to do, right? I don't want to spend 3 hours trying to figure the fuck something else out, like when this works just fine. And that's what because I know you guys are going to be like, oh my God, how can I make this even easier? Guys, like, this is literally the like bare minimum of what I do. I don't even fucking get fancier than this shit right here. Right? And this is the stuff that I learned. Like, a lot of people ask me about Maggie's thing. This is what I learned. The major thing that I learned from Maggie is, like, you got to input things from up here. You can't just like rely on all of that other stuff. And that's why the training that I always recommend people do from Maggie is because it helps with this. By the way, who's in Momentum? I see Tina, Dan, Sabrina, Mike, Fink. Guess what? Maggie is going to I don't know if you guys saw, February 12th, I've got Maggie, and her and I are going to, if you guys loved what we did today, I'm going to have Maggie's going to fucking blow your mind with this shit. Like, and she's doing a live workshop with my Momentum group. So it's going to be freaking insane. But like, most people, this is exactly what you need. Like, you don't need a lot of fancy stuff. And I just want to reiterate that, like, if you are, like, there's probably people in the room right now, I guarantee you guys know more about AI than I do. Eve knows fucking so much more about AI. Sometimes I'm like, Eve, I don't need to know this right now. But like, because it's like, I just know what I need to know, right? Because it's easy to get lost in this shit. Yesterday, I got caught in a video. I was watching a Harmozy video, and it turned into he was roasting this guy's sales process. And this guy he built AI agents And I'm like, oh, what is that? And then I got lost in this other guy's content. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, but I got mesmerized. I'm like, what the fuck? But I lost hours of my day because I went off of my goal of what I was trying to do. And so it's real easy to get really in the weeds with AI when a lot of this stuff is literally like this masterclass is all you guys need right now. Because if you don't even have your ads up, you don't need to know anything else other than getting your freaking ads up, right?
I think it's human nature that we feel like we need to know everything. It's that fear of missing out. I know I get that. And what Laurel just said is so true. Like, I probably am not going to master the art of automation, but I found someone that is, and I'm partnering with her to do it, right? Because what I'm good at is very much in the marketing strategic, like what we just did here. Because you guys, AI, it's changing every day and growing every day. And if you do get in that, like, oh, I got to know this and I got to know this, and should I use DeepSeek or Claude or Perplexity? Just do it. Just do it. Mike, what you got for us? Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, Eve. So, to both of you, this was beyond brilliant. And to your question, is it worth $7? Like $7 million, probably. Maybe not 7 million, but definitely you over deliver. So, as far as the logistics, it's amazing because it really does produce a bunch of content. If you do text post, you can pretty much use it because it's still your voice and it works. If you were to do videos, though, you would use the content it has generated more as bullet points so that you can remain unscripted, right? And you would just, because you're an expert in your topic, follow along the kind of cues that it has given you for that specific framework, but you'd still do it unscripted, correct?
Yeah, no, check this out. I see Collado in them on here too. There's their thread. But no, check this out. All you have to do is say, da, da, da. All I want to do is say this. Hey there, Cody sent me this audio. So I'll use an example. So Cody sent me this audio. Can you turn it into a long form Facebook post he can use to book clients for a free assessment? And it gave me the long form post that he could post on his social media, but I also used it as a hot 7 ad with a picture of him.
Okay, so as far as the text posts go, it's done, it's ready to go. And
yeah, I literally just copied this straight from here and threw it in the ads manager.
so you use that more as more text rather than doing videos, or you'd be doing both, or
I use it for both.
Okay.
Like, yeah, because if you come here, I was like, here's another case study Cody sent me, and it turned it into a long form post. But he could also do this as a video.
Right, but if it's a video, you're not
anything.
going to read it out loud word for word, right? Because you are the expert, you may use the bullet points of the way he outlined the content of the video so that you can, basically talk about it as you. Because if you're reading the script, it's going to sound terrible.
Well, it depends. Like Cody's really good. He just throws this into the Smart Prompt Pro on his phone, and he just kind of does. He say word by word? No, but it helps guide him on what he needs to talk about.
Oh, wow. Okay. So if you're good enough in terms of interpreting a script, you can even do it like that, and it works.
Yeah, like I said, like this, I wrote this. This was an ad, a written post I used it as a written post on Facebook with a picture, and I used that as his hot 7.
Okay. And the second one is you asked at some point ChatGPT to give you 10 different headlines. So let's say you make one video for the first headline, then I guess we just shoot like the other 9 headlines and edit it so that you have the same video and test. You're not going to do 10 different videos every single time, correct?
I do 10 different videos.
Oh, you do? Okay, same general content, just change the headline and you redo it every single time.
Yeah, because sometimes I'll change up the story that I tell, or I'll change up the numbers, or I'll change up. So I'm always like running it through a different lens every time. Plus, I get extra practice. The better I am at video, the better I get. The faster my workflow. That's what we want to do. Is we want this stuff to become second nature, because the faster once you start getting really good at creating content, it's going to take you like 5 minutes a day to create content, because you're just going to go do the video, nail it, and then boom. Right? Because a lot of times when people try to shortcut stuff, it takes them more time to shortcut it than it would be if they would have just done the thing.
Now the process is a shortcut. Awesome. Yep. Thank you so much. Thanks, Laurel. Thanks, Eve. Thumbs up.
Yeah. So Dr. Lana said, how do you create the post as a video? You just go shoot the video. That's it. Just go shoot the video. Say word for word. Like every video that I do gets put into a written post, and every written post I do turns into a video. So many people are way overcomplicate, and a lot of the gurus want you to think you need to optimize for this platform and you need to optimize for that. You don't need to do any of that shit unless you're Gary Vee or Alex Hormozy and you have a whole creative team you're paying $70,000 a month for. For most of us who are like wanting to, make $10,000 a month or whatever, like what we're doing is fine.
Yeah,
No,
and what Laurel said,
don't
don't overthink the video. Just shoot it. Like, I think a lot of people get all caught up in it being perfect. And I think I was on one of Laurel's calls probably a year ago, and someone said, I give myself 2 retakes. And I started adopting that because I've spent my career behind the camera, not in front of it. And so I understand that's one of my pain points. And I would sit there and retake and retake and retake. And then it was like, okay, this is stupid. Nobody cares. Like, the beauty of social media is they want it to be real. They want the mistakes. I love Laurel does it all the time, right? And I think you even did a post like a year ago about how you like recorded something and forgot about something and said shit or something and it got more engagement than anything else. Like, people want real. They don't want the fresh produced, just be you.
They don't. Like now, because that fresh produced is so overdone, those videos stopped working so well. Like I want to say Alex Hormozy did a video about that the other day about how like he's just like less graphics the better because like he's been testing a lot of the stuff. It's just less like once someone starts a trend and everyone starts doing it, those videos become less and less effective. And here's what a lot of people don't think about. If something's nicely polished and edited, it's like, what? Are they not an expert that they can't just do this shit on the fly? Right? Why do they have to do that? Like, that's why I love doing like all of my videos where I'm just like speaking on camera, like do the best. And that's why people trust me because my videos aren't edited. They know I'm not talking shit. If someone's reading a script, can you really tell if they're fake or not? No, because like they could just be reading a fucking script for all we know. Can we get the clean doc you showed with the blanks that explains what to fill in the prompts? I don't know what you're talking about, but maybe Eve does. Because Eve went over everything to put in.
I don't know what exactly the clean doc. It is basically just that doc. I think that the only part that you would clean up that Laurel put in. Did you put it in the chat yet, Laurel?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So the only thing,
just change that. Just change what's in the highlighted area. Made it easy for you.
It's not a lot that you have to clean up.
It's like Mad Libs.
Exactly.
And if you need help, just rewatch this video.
It actually, I think, will help if you haven't done this before, to have the examples that she put in, because then you can see exactly what it is. But the amount of spot to clean it up is so small that it doesn't make sense to do that.
Oh, like all of the script templates, that's all in the $7 program. Like I'm just grabbing the scripts I gave you. Like if you're talking about the power content template that I did, I just grabbed it from the $7 program. All of the scripts that I use are all in the $7 program. As a matter of fact, go grab that ROAS Accelerator playbook. It's got all the scripts in one place. One time I even told it, I said, here's all 7 of my hot 7 videos all in one doc. And I said, can you just go write this hot 7? And it did it. I didn't think it was going to do it. I thought I gave it too much to do. But here's the thing. The more that you talk in that thread, the more it's going to learn and it'll be able to do more and more. Like chat will know exactly who you are. Any other questions before we let you go? Cut you guys loose.
Go make a ton of content.
Hell yeah.
Tad. Thank you for the people. This isn't a diss on the people that didn't, but I love the people that kept their cameras on. Skip, Dave, Bill. It's just nice to actually be talking to people that you can see. I get sometimes we can't, but shout out to you guys because it's nice to actually see people behind. Sabrina,
Oh, like,
yeah.
yeah, if you ever hop on a Vince Reed call, Vince will make everyone on the call turn on their camera. He's like, I'm not here to talk at y'all. He's like, he's like, I show up for you guys. He's like, you need to show up for me. And he makes everyone turn on their camera.
We're not quite there, but
No.
we'll do the shout out to those that did keep it on.
Awesome. Well, you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I'm going to go drink a bottle of whiskey.
And I get to hang out with Laurel in New Orleans next week. So, yay!
And you want to tell them where I'm taking you?
Yeah, she dangled this carrot in front of me. She's been trying to get me to visit her in New Orleans. And I was going to go, but what booked the flight is she got us invited to Gary V's private party. So heck yeah. I was like, I'm booking the ticket right now. We were on a Zoom and I'm like, yeah, I'm buying the ticket right now. It pays to be friends
hook up
with
my
Laurel.
people.
So yeah, it'll be fun. I'm super happy. Be good to see you too. All right,
Awesome.
guys, just so you know, so you don't blow up Laurel asking for this replay, I am going to post this and I will give her the link. It might be tomorrow. So I'm going to get it up as soon as I can, but I'm crazy busy. So just give me some grace with that, but it will be up and she will put it in her wherever the AI accelerator stuff is located in her program. So
Bye, guys.
bye, guys.
Yeah. Thank you.